Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. I just primed my face using the same exact stuff that I always do. Like always, it's gonna be linked down below. Hopefully this is gonna be one of the most chill and hopefully the fastest tutorials that I've done. My mom and I have to run some errands, and so I'm not in a rush or anything, but my makeup does have to last all day because we're going out to dinner later for her birthday. So I'm going to go ahead and use my Estee Lauder Double Wear. This is the compact. I'm in the color Ecru. And like I said, I'm using this because I want my makeup to last all day. I'll fix my hair later for dinner, but right now it's just going up in a ponytail because today in real time is Friday. My mom said I had some time because she's in the middle of laundry, so I thought I would film doing my makeup instead of just doing it. My mom's also being a dork today. She got the bright idea to spray pepper spray in her room, and right after, Aiden and I walked in, and so now it's in our throats and we can't stop coughing. Why you would do it inside to begin with is beyond me. So anyways, yesterday was her birthday, and remember I told you guys they were in Laughlin, so we're officially celebrating today with her favorite restaurant. We're going to the Cheesecake Factory. Right now it's just her and I and the baby at home. Andrew is doing something a little bit different today. He went to the fire academy, and they're gonna do like actual traffic stops, and he's officially wearing his little uniform. And it's really funny because, like, obviously you guys see police officers and they have like their utility belt, much like a superhero. And anyways, they get like one little piece at a time as like rewards at the end of each week. And so, you know, Andrew had a full belt being security forces in the Air Force, and so for him, he's like obviously excited, but it's not like new to him, I want to say. And so the first thing that they got were actually their guns, but they're fake. They're like these wooden guns. And so he said that a lot of the guys were like being overly goofy about it. They were like in the bathroom, and all these dudes are like standing at the urinals, you know, and they were like pulling out their guns on each other at the urinal, which I just think is so funny. And she's like, man, if one of our, you know, instructors would have came in, their ass would have been grass, and they probably would have gotten it taken away, which is funny because that's like their form of punishment now. Is if you get in trouble, you get equipment taken away, and you're not allowed to come to the academy wearing your uniform. You have to come back to the black and whites, which is what they wore for the first 8 weeks. So anyways, he said it was like really funny. They're like, can you imagine like a bunch of dudes standing there holding their little wings and like pew 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 pew. I thought that was the funniest stuff, and Andrew was like laughing so hard because, again, it's not new to him, so he wasn't like overly excited, you know. Not that Andrew gets overly excited about much anyway. He's just a very level-headed person all around. But I still thought that was really funny. The only thing about that Model's Own powder that I freaking hate is the freaking container, because it's a push lid, and so every time you push the lid down, it goes like flying out. Okay, I'm gonna use my Cheekathon palette. I haven't used this in forever, and I'm just gonna go in with regular Hoola. Anywho, I just watched the freaking trailer for whatchamacallit, Blade Runner with Ryan Gosling and Harrison Ford. That looks super good. It's coming out in October. Speaking of October, you guys know, if you've been with me for a while, Halloween is like a lifestyle for me. Me and my mom, and so yesterday, Thursday, when I went to swim school. Afterwards, I had to go to Costco, and they already had their Halloween costumes out, and I was like, yeah! And then I went to Target afterwards, and they had pumpkin spice ice cream, pumpkin spice coffee creamer, which I almost died. I was so excited. I'm gonna use Coralista. Dandelion is my freaking one of probably top 5 favorite blushes of all time. So just to do something a little bit different, because I feel like I only wear like cool tone pinks, I'm just gonna use Coralista. And then to bring it back way old school, who remembers this? The good thing about this is that none of this is limited edition, so I can use it. I have been obsessed with mixing Pearl and Champagne Pop. I literally take my Wayne Goss brush and roll it in Pearl and then roll it in Champagne Pop. That way both of them are on there. You guys, are you kidding? I don't know if any of you are familiar or watched The Vampire Diaries. If you haven't seen it, you need to. Oh my gosh. I freaking finished the very last episode and I bawled my eyes out like a freaking baby back, you know what. I'm gonna do my brows and I'll be right back. I look soaking wet right now because I just sprayed probably half a bottle of Fix Plus on my face because I was looking pretty powdery. My eyebrows are so intense. Anyways, so I started reading The Vampire Diaries. I remember going into Borders. Shout out to people who remember Borders. And finding that series in the young adult collection. Mind you, I was at that time technically a young adult. And then I remember them like announcing that they were going to make a TV show. I'm gonna use my peach palette today because I haven't in so long. And I'm gonna go in with, I think I'm gonna go in with Peaches and Cream first and just set that down. And I remember when I saw Damon, I was like, good choice. Ian Somerhalder, whoo lordy. I'm gonna pop in a picture. Those freaking eyes. Those eyes. Anyways, wasn't like overly pleased with who Stefan was. And I think that they picked, like they portrayed Elena as like one of the most annoying like damsel in distresses, and it was like the same thing over and over with her. Anyways, it was overall a really good show. I'm not gonna give away too much. If you haven't read the books, I highly suggest it. Or if you're not a reader, I highly suggest the show as well. I thought it was really good and it ended really well. So that's my thoughts on that. I'm gonna go in with the color Puree. So that was like the highlight of being at the house by myself for a couple days because like I said, my parents were traveling and obviously Andrew's at work all day. I got to have Netflix all to myself, and so I had been putting off finishing this series just because I didn't want it to be over. Oh man, if you guys want to see a really good movie, if you're not like into series, because there are people out there who don't tie themselves to TV shows, like their lives depend on it. I am not one of them. But I know that there are people out there who are like not into it. A really, really, really good movie is called To the Bone. It has Keanu Reeves in it, and it's about a young lady who struggles with the eating disorder, and she's sent to all kinds of different inpatient programs, and of course Keanu Reeves saves the day like he always does. Anybody else is slightly obsessed with him, especially with that rugged man look with the beard and like the long hair? Yes please. Anyways, he's the good doctor, and it's a really amazing movie. Again, it's called To the Bone. So stinking good. Now I'm gonna go in with Cobbler. So it's kind of like a gradient. I don't know why I'm doing such a dark look for the daytime. We had a really amazing visit with Andrew's sisters, my sister-in-laws. They came out here from Boston and we had a really good time. didn't get to spend as much time with them. I was like so freaking sick one day. I had the worst migraine. Look at that freaking fallout. And I was like, they're only here for, you know, a couple days, and I just like don't want to miss hanging out with them. And so I honestly should have just stayed home. That would have like helped everybody out. Even though I wouldn't have seen them, they probably would have had a much better time. But I just feel so bad because even when they would come and visit me in DC, every single time they would come to visit, I would get sick. I would have a headache. And for the longest time, I thought it was like, I don't know, I thought it was like maybe one of their perfumes, because it was like without a doubt every single time. And you know, fellow migraine sufferers, like the silliest things could trigger it, like perfume. And so I don't know. I didn't even see them Friday, the day before, so I know it wasn't that. I'm gonna go in with the color Luscious and put that on the inner corner. So it wasn't that. I don't know what it is. And so we like went out. We met at Andrew's aunt and uncle's house, who I just freaking adore them so much. They're the sweetest people. And anyway, we were like there for a while, and I was like getting sick in their bathroom. And then we're like, let's go out to dinner. And I was like, okay, maybe if I eat something, I'll feel better. So I ordered food, and I literally had to like squish it away from me as far as it would go into the table, because I thought I was gonna throw up on it. I'm gonna go in with Candied Peach and put that on my lower lash line. I was like, oh man, I was so sick. And then we go back to their house because his aunt actually does cakes for a living. She did Aiden's first birthday cake, his smash cake, and the cake for everyone to eat. She's like amazing at cakes. Ow. And so for this occasion, she made a red velvet cake, because I think that's Andrew's sister's favorite. I don't know what the hype is about red velvet. It's not my favorite thing in the whole world, but anyway, nonetheless, you know, we went inside and I was just throwing up in their bathroom the entire time. Everyone was eating cake. Like, who doesn't love to eat cake and hear somebody puking in the background? Really like that eye look. That's really pretty. Different for me, for sure. I'm like very happy that I'm finally out of my funk. Oh my gosh, I was like doing the same thing over and over and over again and using the same products. I mean, I use some of the same products. Like I love, you know, I'm not branched out yet for eyebrow products. I'm not a big fan of like other concealers right now, except for my Shape Tape. I feel like all the other ones are like really crepey on my under eyes, which I think is a combination of me not getting a ton of sleep, and I'm not the best at keeping my hands away from my eyes. Like, I'm definitely one of those people that rubs their eyes once their makeup's off, and I know it's so bad for you. And like this Physicians Formula eyeliner, can't even tell you guys how many eyeliners I've tried, high-end and drugstore, and none of them come close to this one. Number one, price. They're like, I mean, I guess it's kind of pricey for drugstore. It's $10 for one, but I always stock up when it's buy one get one half off. Aren't the best wings in the world. But another thing that I love about this Physicians Formula eyeliner, I like messed up on this left eye, which I always do. Because it's a completely different shape than my right eye, which I feel like a lot of people struggle with or deal with, one of the two. And it comes off like, I don't even know how to explain it. It doesn't smear at all. It literally just comes off. Like, it almost like balls up and just like is gone. It doesn't smear at all. It's crazy. And I want to use this mascara up before I open any of my other ones. I know you guys are waiting to see my backup drawer of backups, and I have a ton of mascara in there, but I really want to finish this one up. And it's so unlike me. I usually have like 20 mascaras open at once, but I really want to use this one up for some reason. Andrew's aunt and uncle are gonna go to church with us tomorrow. I'm really excited, but I'm also kind of nervous because of the whole situation that happened the last week that we went. We didn't go last Saturday because Andrew's sister was here, but the week before, remember I told you guys on my last tutorial that the girl was like, you need to be back here with him. I think it's gonna be really fun to have Andrew's aunt and uncle there. Like, I have tons, not tons, but quite a few friends who are like atheists or agnostic or whatever. Maybe they're not spiritual at all, or I've had pagan friends. I've had mystics, you know what I mean? Like, I've had everyone from every walk of life, and I've never judged them, or I already talked about that, like, with you guys. I feel like I'm a true Christian in the fact that it's never my goal to like shame them, or, you know what I mean? Obviously, as a Christian, your goal is always to bring them to, you know what I mean, God, and, you know, preach the word and everything, but I never disrespect anyone or anything like that. And so I just feel like it's always really nice when you actually find a friend or family who, you know what I mean, share that faith with you, and you can talk about it openly, and you know what I mean. Oh, like a perfect example is I got a card today from Nessa, and there was a sticker on the back that said trust in the Lord, and I was just like, oh my god, that's so amazing. And even my mom was like, oh, I'm gonna use one of these Burberry Sheer Wisdom, the Lush lip oils. I haven't used this, I think, since I got it, which was at the beginning of summer, I want to say. This is in the color Rich Nutmeg. Ugh, that feels so nice. I don't know why I haven't been using, well, I do, because I'm in a funk, or I was. It just feels so good, and the color's like not over the top, but it's definitely pigmented. Ugh, is anybody else in love with this highlighter as much as me? You know, I totally did that backwards for highlighters on the products I can't live without. My number one highlighter of all time has been, and always probably will be, Champagne Pop. I feel like Champagne Pop like changed the game for highlighters. So I'm gonna go put some hairspray in my hair and fix that up. But other than that, this is the finished look. I know my wings are totally not matching, and my brows are a little bit related today, not by much, but they're in the same family. And I'm just dying for that highlighter. I've been obsessed with this combo lately because it's just like boom. Today's overcast too, so I wanted something that was like really shiny so you can still see it even though there's no sun. I don't know why I'm talking like that. So that is it. I'm gonna go fix my hair. I don't even know if it's worth it, honestly, because it's so overcast and it's gonna rain probably. But I am in love with this look. I'm so glad I pulled out some oldies, but some goodies, some faves. These three palettes, I love them. Love them all. I know for a fact you can find these two. This probably is like an eBay item. This came out the year that Champagne Pop did. I think this was like the Christmas one. I'm pretty sure. So if you have any requests, let me know down below. Love you guys so much. Hope you enjoyed Tutorial Tuesday, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. I hate you. I'm seriously hating my mom right now.